Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics.
Good morning or good night, bitches. How are we doing today? We have the Bad Bitches Club here.
Hello.
Hello.
Say good morning, ladies. How's everybody doing today?
Good. Good.
Got what, 50 people here along for the ride. So this is extra late, winter after dark. And I'm just here to have like a chit chat with you guys, give you a perspective on things. So in case you don't know the Bad Bitches, this is Jezebel, Evangelista, and Vicky Val. They've been with us for, how long you guys been here?
Like over a year?
Yeah.
October? When did you get here, Jezebel? Like
A
April,
year and
right?
a half. Yeah, April,
April.
May, June, July. So about, yeah, a year and 7 months. Yep.
Clearly no longer part of Bad Bitches, Robbers. These are the ladies. We do have Nada in Telegram. We can see her save the imbalance that we have. How you doing, Alice? How's trading? How's everything going in your team?
Nice. Hi, Netta.
Hmm?
I was saying hi to Netta. We got 62.
So what did you guys do last week? You know, the Nomics family gave you some warnings about dump day. You know, pay attention to Apple. You guys managed to
Yep.
dodge a bullet?
More than that.
Ooh, pets. Throw some bits for the tits. Do I have to shop? Appreciate your patch. It's alright. If you're not comfortable trading, you don't have to. This is the kind of market you don't want to stand in front of. You know, the elections, you can get really fucked up. So if you guys dodged it, that's good. Like I said, is that even Kaz? The world may never know. So, Matt. Some of you guys killed last week? You guys make some money? What's up? You guys learn to play short too, right? You don't just have to buy everything. You can sell shit.
That's right.
You notice that, you know, one of the big reasons for the sentiment warning was that nobody wanted to sell a fucking thing. Even the dog shit people would ask about in the shows that were down in the grave, you know, they're still looking for, well, where's the spot to buy it? Not like markets don't go in two fucking directions, you know. Baba Soul. Shout out Mr. Gamble, we appreciate you. Don't give all iced upon me, ladies.
It's like
So
you got a
you,
good play of a Babla.
yeah. You guys making good use of OnlyFans? Let's see. You guys pay attention to OnlyFans, you had a broad-based warning that the entire planet looked like shit, right?
Yep.
So, OnlyFans supplement to your Twitch prep. Keep you guys on the right side if you use it all. Mel, as to your question that you asked me in OnlyFans, you asked me about, oh, he's a hottie. You asked me about, are each of these nations' indices expressed in their local currency? Yeah, I think the bulk of these were, not all, but UK, HAC, and Germany are expressed in their currencies. I don't think the Nikkei was, but it's not going to do too much to the wave structure to take away from what is being conveyed in the specific chart. So I saw your question. Don't worry. Check out BTC. He's in the box range we told you guys to wait for. That would be next. Right at 13,983. Let's see how he chops that range. The structure still leaves that. So BTC doing what he's supposed to be doing. Doing BTC things. So for the few of you who showed tonight, what's on your minds? What are y'all watching? We can do a couple lightning rounds.
Ooh.
Can I analyze Julia? Election results? Definitely like harder to figure out through the noise beyond Hillary's time. We won't know probably results for days after this one. PRLB, we have that guy inside OnlyFans. Will I be doing election night stream? Probably not. I would imagine the amount of viewers would be far less available on that particular night. They're going to be watching all kinds of shit, so I don't see the point. What do you guys think? Are you ladies watching the election results live on Tuesday, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
Definitely going to be keeping a close eye on that one.
I don't think we'd get like the results though Tuesday night. There's going to be shit coming in certain states counted after Tuesday, so it's going to be kind of sus. How quickly would volatility die after election results? Pretty much in the session that they announce who the winner is, we should see the volatility begin to collapse. What's up, fellow?
Yep.
Good to see you. Unity, please, reverse pretty hard, right? You want Unity to box range and stay stable above that zone. Alright, let's look at some things. PRLB. Oh yeah. I can't see shit. What do I type? So, he's built to sustain. We want to see him get to this level, box range out. Kind of like what BTC is doing just now, right? Get that level box range out and then blow out of it. PRLB, kind of like a similar thing to what Tesla had done. He either makes a flag right now, sustains a slow, and goes back for a shot at this to then set up the move outside this range. But right now, yeah, it needs some wait and see. And with the whole market going risk off, you have to take that. When we tell you about a risk off move, it's everything. Leadership names, everything. It becomes very dangerous to someone cat. Maybe. Well, now I have the entire look complete because now I've got the kitty. Alright, Goofy. It's your life now. See Ivy make her cameo?
Hi, Ivy.
Can't believe she's opening your door like that.
She just doesn't give a fuck. Fuck your live stream. Give a shit about my time. Alright. This is the actual entire look of the character now. The character has a cat. So, that's PRLB. You definitely can't fight me right now because I can barely see where you are. What was the other one we just said? There's PRLB. Yes, and he's in the water. Not good situation. Alright, that's going be we're looking at. So I said the Unity. So again, if all things going risk off, longing anything is dangerous, right? That's what we're telling everybody all of last week. Once I give you a risk off warning, like nothing on the risk on side is a great idea. You're not allowed to go after shorts. This guy had a good talk through it multiple times, but like in both these situations, you don't want to just see just a blowout like this. You want to see what I'm drawing. You want to see him find a place to situate and leave that, but structure out holding this level. Both these are just blowout, dump, chops, blowout, chops. You want him to sustain. When we talk about sustain, like when we talk about BTC, right? You want to see him blow out and sustain a level, and then blow out again. Not just violently spike up and down through levels. You want to sustain his ranges. Like when he gets here, you want to sustain this above, and then leave again. So Unity's kind of just doing some violent shit on that level, but he's not really made any kind of like volume structure that you can play again. So, and that's on the back of like the whole market getting dumped on space, So everything kind of looks like that. That's where we are. Trey, appreciate the bits, homie. Lifted mindset. Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate the bits, sir. VIX, IPHI. Is this somebody acquiring these guys? I think somebody's buying these dudes out. Marvel, I think. Yeah, these guys are being bought by Marvel. So, as far as these guys go, it's pretty news driven with whatever goes on in the Marvel deal. USB Rebel, no dash at that one. Dollar strong, and much like what's happening to the Turkish lira, this is also happening to any of the guys who are kind of like fringe currencies. Ruble being tied to oil getting destroyed. It's a double negative. But the DXY itself is bouncing, and it's going to be bouncing in a few places. So that's still happening. We showed you guys that. So weaker currencies, bad energy. Turkish lira, we told you this guy would keep fucking going. I hate to do it to you, Sauce, but yeah, your country's currency is fucking garbage. So, Ruble, on the same track. He's just like lagging behind this, but likely he's going to blow out the high also. J&K junk bonds. I think if you have a deflationary route, these guys are going to get hit hard. There's something worth paying attention to when there is reseeking behavior, but right now, nothing really looks safe, There are better things to chase, like REITs and things that have good yields that are safer than junk bonds, but these guys just, like kind of like a shitty side of this. But everything looks kind of equal the same. They look a lot like indexes. I don't think that's like a safe place to be if indexes continue to blow off strength. This guy will blow off strength. What does 100,000 plus target on the Dow Jones equate to long term on the NAS? It's a good question. Probably, with tech being the outperformer that he is, if the Dow Jones is going to 5x from here, the NAS is probably going to like 6.5 to 8x or more. Now 60 to 80,000 or something like that. Brookfield Renewable. Let's see. BEP. What is Brookfield? Utilities, electric utilities. So we told you utilities were relatively stronger. This guy looks pretty damn good. Let's see how long he's been flagging here. October, from beginning of October. I think that guy looks good in a relative sense. So like, with the market being risk off, these guys can be safer while that's happening to play against somebody who's like weaker, like fucking some old guy who's getting whacked. In this situation, you see that Brookfield is already breaking out on an oil player. So I like utilities versus like weak sides of the market, like energy and guys like specifically in fossil fuels. But like he looks good in both markets. Don't really have to share much on that. It's pretty fucking bullish. Girls, what do you think? Ladies, still alive?
Yeah.
What do you think? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
See how that is just a giant version of this? The exact same. Damn it.
Yeah, definitely if it comes out at that rate.
Doesn't look any different, does it?
Yep. Higher highs. Higher lows.
You're waiting for a version of that. Do you see it? Repeating patterns. What up, Jester? How come is BTC strong in an uptrend? I mean, it just is. I don't know if that question needs a little bit more context. Xiaomi 1810. I don't even know what the fuck that is. What? Oh. Gotcha. Okay, this is a Hong Kong. Well, that's not bad. That's what you want. So, these box range are not good too, but that's kind of what you're looking for to look a little bullish. You want him to stop chopping this level and get away from this and get above, like, even above that and push out of this. This will look a lot better above that. But it does look bad. Needs time to finish the shockwave it's running though. This is a pretty high amplitude drop, so still needs time. Clean, tan, everything that was a high flare is going to need a break with the risk off situation. So these guys all kind of look alike, Look at tan is pulling back, clean's pulling back, much the same. They're going to need healing time, before you want to chase these guys.
Yeah.
They've had their run. Everybody wants a piece. And like I said, for these guys to keep going, the bigger the shockwave, the better it will be once it resumes. It's kind of like Tesla, when Tesla was like that, going fucking crazy. In order for him to really keep going more and more crazy, like this looked crazy to everybody when he was at this point. So the bigger the corrective structure can be, the bigger move it'll set up for this guy. So all of this time led to just a larger rip in Tesla. And TAN is kind of on that kind of trajectory, just insane kind of trajectory. So it needs to be something that gets people the fuck out to let you have another run. So the bigger this gets, the better it gets, So we just wait for it to structure out. However long this is going to take, take a call. From the pullback, we wait. And we don't know what he's going to do, how far he's going to draw it down. He could do something like this. He could just do a much larger corrective bull structure. Whatever it is, we're going to let him set up and rotate and then come and track him as he gets set to do another leg. However fucking big it is, Even with this kind of situation, you could kind of eventually watch him develop trend structures in here. So he's going to develop something that we can track as he restructures to head back here. And once he settles and gives us a low point, we'll begin to watch the components and see when he begins to rotate back around. This will help us too. We'll track, the risk off in the market also. Track other guys correlated to him. And it should all start to give a healthier setup long before we really have to show up for this. So for now, we can't track the risk off, Appreciate you sequencing. Sorry I had to throw you out the call earlier. PQ. Love you, hon. Are you girls dying over there? Are you okay? Space Cash 420. You better believe that's what fucking time it is when I get off this shit. You girls got your smoke on? What's going on tonight? Bad bitches smoking? Thanks for the Jersey Beth. Discord. Think bad bitches took a break? Well, they're on mute for now. What's that, Chester? Yeah, all the stuff that didn't work before is working now. Totally. Oh shit, we got a hype train running. Can you analyze a 2B for max, or is this how you can recognize a 2B? I was looking at it in 1 hour RAS. Yeah, let's look at max R. So again, with all things risk off, right? these guys took a break. So here's your trigger level, and like we talked about, right, when you break a level, a lot of people who buy a single bar break will almost always get caught in a chop, right? Even if Maxar was only going to chop, say, here, before you knew it broke down, you would still allow him to structure and give you another play out of this. A lot of people aren't patient, right? They're not patient for the next move here. You want him to sustain a clean break above this, whatever he does, and gives you another chance to play it. So that's why you wait for something, to show you what he's going to do, and play the exit of that to allow him to sustain a break. Even if it doesn't structure out until fucking up here, it's okay. You just want a place to define risk, right? So however far above it needs to be, it just needs to prove that it's sustained its break. Much like this right here, right? He sustained it, and he gave you something that if you're in other resolutions, you could play this. But you don't have to chase just the first break. That's dangerous. So yeah, this is a 2B. Are you back, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
I lost you for a second.
Yeah, my Discord was stuck on mute.
So both of you, okay.
Well,
So, yeah.
no, just me. I don't know. Vicky. Vicky?
Vicky,
I'm here. I can't tell what you're saying.
you can't understand me? What? So this 2B, you guys remember this, right? This one of the things to make sure to dodge phase breaks is allow him to develop a volume structure above your trigger.
Patience, yeah.
Patience. People see this green bar over here and like, oh my god, I gotta get involved. No, you don't. Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. Just patience. Okay. I'm gonna shut my guys. You can only really recognize a phase breakout in hindsight. So, what's stuck again? You're only going to recognize a phase breakout in hindsight because you're only defining risk on wave structure, so you need to allow proper formations to happen and participate accordingly. But you really shouldn't ever be charging in on a single candle break of anything. So that's why I show you box ranges on key level breaks. The box range itself is a chop zone. We get another local monopoly, aggregating the position against people who are basically following on the global breaks. And then after it killed all of them, you get a markup or a markdown from that local monopoly. So you want to give it a chance to form. Are Apple and Microsoft.eth space cash companies too? I wouldn't call Apple a space cash company now. Space cash is going to revolve around aerospace and defense, 3D printing, semiconductors, construction, which we know with like Caterpillar for the moon. There's, I would call, Apple is evolving towards a healthcare need to have, where they've integrated with the Singaporean government, glucose monitoring and stuff, and likely heart monitoring. They want to be like a medical device. That's definitely a very terrestrial business. Microsoft, do we want Windows in space? I don't know. There's a chance we can see that, but I wouldn't call either one of those guys specifically space cash companies now. No problem, Hermes. Can we hear about option strategies on stream anytime? Options are pretty complex, and most of the people watching the show need help with basics like understanding breakouts, understanding 2Bs, following trend structure, understanding how to move around with assets as things rotate. Derivatives is a layer of complexity that I reserve for people that I know understand the basics. It's maybe too few in the audience that would benefit from that. As interesting as it would be, you look at a lot of people who don't have proper disciplines to go into something that requires even greater discipline, and I probably end up harming more people than I would help.
Yeah. Structure and mechanics first, always.
I mean, yeah, it's for you, you're a year and a half in this, and tell me you want to be dealing with options before you understand what the fuck you're doing with price and risk management.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely focusing on the basics. I mean, even in the time we spent here, it's always emphasized structure, mechanics, basics, risk management.
Right.
That
Yeah.
first.
Because options are just going to leverage what you're doing, They're not like something else. People treat them like a whole other animal, but they're leveraging the underlying instrument. And if you understand how you're defining risk, you don't want to treat options like something else. They're not. They're leverage instruments for their stocks.
Yeah. Like if you don't know how to read the chart already, you're just gonna mess yourself up with going in that route.
Faster.
You need to understand what deltas are, and that they represent probabilities and amount of shares you're picking up and things like that, and how you're going to define risk differently rather than treat them like lotto tickets and shit that people do. There's just a lot to go over there. I'll say this: verticals are your friends. If you were going in there and buying single vanilla options, verticals can help you reduce risk and really lever up what you're doing without putting a ton of money in like you do in vanilla options. If you guys are playing apples and Teslas, look into bull call spreads and bear call spreads and bull put spreads and things like that. The verticals are definitely a safer place for you to go when you're brand new. But beyond that, I can't give you real specifics in this show.
So much to it.
I'm actually surprised we have 96 people at this time of night, because I can't run this many people in the Asian session at all.
Right?
Pretty interesting. You guys have any other questions? This is good. That's some, basically for options. Do you define risk based on structure of the underlying of movement of premium? Understand that your deltas represent the amount of shares you have, and if you are defining risk by a certain percentage drawdown in your account, then you can use the equivalent deltas to define similar risk as you would trading trading the stock directly, if that helps you. Are verticals limited to the width of the spread? What do you mean by that? I mean, that is the risk. You're capping risk with the second contract, but I don't know what you mean by limited. Your max payout is the difference between the first and the second, in either case. Alright, well, that's good shit. Thinking about NASDAQ versus Dow Jones long term, do you hold things for long term dividends? Yeah, there's definitely things that are worth holding for yield. Some portion of what you put out there in the marketplace should always pay you when you sleep. That's the idea of having wealth, whether you own rental property or you own high dividend stocks. Some amount of your capital should pay you in your sleep. So having some portion of your money allocated to things that pay you dividends, yields, rentals is a good idea. It helps to kind of normalize some of your returns. Penn is a good example of what we learned last stream, that positive earnings might not be going the direction you think. Right. If it was just about positive earnings, then there's investing would be very simple for many people. But That is dealing with some specifics of the company without dealing with like some relative issues the company may have versus other assets that can tell you more about what valuations are. Earnings tell you about the specifics of the company, but you have to look at other things in other companies to understand relativity, which is what markets are about. Chance that Av, so you see the question you're asking, like, it depends, right? If you're buying a bull call spread, then yeah, your max profit is going from the front contract to the back. If you're doing a bear call, then you're selling a credit, which is going to basically be the difference between the two contracts, and your max loss is the front to the back. So it depends if you're bull or bear in your spread. So if you're on OnlyFans, I left some instructions to look up some basics on options. So if you're in there, go jump in and look into some of the early posts. And I left some instructions on how to get started with like the basics of options and learning stuff like that. Johnny, make verticals are one option to make money safely. Are there anything else? See, in that comment, you have to understand why verticals actually help you be more safe. Before you worry about like, hey, what else can you tell me? You have to understand like why what I told you even makes sense to use. So I would, before I tell anything else, I would recommend you kind of get yourself versed a little bit in just the basics of it. So if you're on the OnlyFans, OnlyFans.com/Casanomics, go in there and look up what I said to you guys so get started with the basics of options. USDO Wyckofian. I don't use Wyckoff anything. So I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah, USDO doesn't look terrible. We talked about some of these non-precious guys. At this minute, everything is getting slammed, but this guy's an interesting place. Let's see. So I'm just watching this, right? You guys think about it as a 2B on the downside, right? It's a stop run on the lowest low. There's one 2B that turns a huge rally, and this is potentially the next one. So I watched that raise to see if he recovers it. He got through it once. And now he's doing something we want to see with levels. He's kind of sustaining the break on this particular range. So above this would look pretty positive. If he turns up off of this and leaves, that would look good for another leave out of here. Now, post, you're overcomplicating things. Gotta try to turn this show into an options call. That's exactly what we don't want. Yeah, this could go on for hours to just kind of go over different things and options, and there's a more simple way to approach them than this. Interesting morning questions. You guys are on a whole different page on the morning show. Fascinating. What do you think, girls? They want an options call on stream.
Yeah, this is a pretty good stream.
That'd be the stream of streams if I did that one, huh? Options trading live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. When I know you guys are proficient enough, maybe we'll dabble in that. So if a beginner were to try to apply the content you share in shows, what strategy should they consider? Swing trades? If you're asking me a question like that, you do not understand the content in my shows yet. So read blogs, that's definitely a helper. I'll help you understand some things about, the way we look at market in terms of fractals. Swing trade, long-term investing, day trading, scalping, all terms for the same shit. Doesn't matter. So go back here to the blog, Winternomics.blog, and go back to stuff like this. Truth will set you free. And this will kind of help you kind of understand some things about like price structures and different time frames being self-similar. Really basic, easy stuff. And then, go forward and I'll teach you some basic things. There's examples in here of trade setups and things like that. You kind of like don't want to look for like, hey, this is like buy this breakout setup. I'm teaching you how to understand price, how to understand like the fundamentals and people that go behind it, how to read price structure in any time frame. What time frame you want to trade in is specific to your own plan. I don't really tell you what to do there. I just help you to understand things and have perspective on this stuff. Baby steps on option stream. It's possibly. There's a blog link. Check that out. Definitely help you some. All right. Truth in BTC episode 1. Much more expansive breakdown into understanding fractals, understanding the cross cycle, understanding, prices behavior. So this stuff will help you get going. And then what's in the shows, of course.
Yeah, slow your roll on the options. I mean,
Exactly.
I know it's like all exciting and everything, but even us, now that we've learned so much more, we're like backing off of them because we're realizing that the base really need to be super solid before you start going into that.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Leverage works both ways. It can, increase your gains massively, or it can fucking destroy you. So, baby steps. So yeah, check this stuff out. All written in layman's terms, real simple. Just make sure you read it in my tone of voice. It'll make total sense. This exact tone of voice. Oh yeah, I got something on here. So these are all the public videos on the station. And I know a lot of people don't go back in time and look at these. Let's see. I guess there's some basics back here. Let me see. I was looking at one of these way back in time. Not that one. This one. This one. Let's see. Let's see it. This has some clips of like all throughout, but this is like earlier stuff. This is in September. You guys go back and we have clips of like, how to chart, how to do analysis. This will show you some stuff. See stuff like this? We're showing you options logic with price. So if you go back into Instagram, stuff like this is on Instagram. They will show you like how options translate. These are like low delta options in place of stock. We have lots of examples like this all over the place. So from the older streams, you can look at some stuff on simple wave logic. Instagram, we can show you actually have comparisons of using the stock versus the option for the exact same play and what your gains could be, what your capital outlays would be. So don't just look for like the very newest stuff. We have stuff all throughout time that's beneficial if you just go back and spend some time to look. And we kind of make it so that some people will spend their time to look because that's how you learn better, if you're at least interested. I can't really spoon feed you more than I do. Some amount of it has to be your own desire.
Mm-hmm.
Joni make, like, there's endless ways you could talk about what you're asking. You have to get more specific than that. I teach you how to read wave structure. You could trade into a stock. You could trade to options. It all depends what your skill set is and what your knowledge base is. It would be aimless for me to just speak on various strategies without it being specific to something you need answered. Tilray and the legalization of weed. Don't think that Tilray's fate hangs on just that. As more states have been legalizing weed, Tilray's structure has really been shit the whole time. He might have just been the guy who's a victim of the hype cycle. He doesn't have shit in place to be like the leader of the entire industry. I think Tilray's problems are bigger than that, and it's not just the legalization of weed that is necessary to make Tilray come back from the grave. I'll look more into that to tell you anything more specific, but interesting. Let's ADUSD is on the back of the DXY situation. So the DXY is going to keep pushing, right? We gave this up last time. If he gets back under here, sustains it. This is DXY strength you're watching. Right? The DXY, we showed you his flagging the other day. And he's still pushing. So everything USD is basically fucking getting wrecked. So Euro's going to dump down to his base range now. Yeah. So this is the other plug's level. So probably worth paying attention again. This is a key level on Euro USD right now where he is to come back out of this big range. And if he does, as the dollar's going to keep pushing, this guy coming out of this range would be significant. But he's still a longer term trend structure that way. If that is the ultimate low for the DXY, to go and oscillate back across this 5-year range, then, you know, like I said, this won't be good for risk assets, generally speaking. But he is bouncing, and he is in trend, so we showed you that low flag he's on, he's pushing. So keep it on your radar, and keep your AVUSD on your radar now, where he's at. Chancellor Ave, the stock price affects the premium. Okay, that's so basic. Again, just go to OnlyFans, read what I posted about getting started options, and that kind of question you won't ask anymore. And that's basically the basics of understanding options. What is that red and green MA indicator you use? It is a custom moving average I made. Nothing special. Don't get caught up in the red and green indicator. Anubis? Yeah, I like Anubis. He's pretty fire. We're in an hour. I got to leave some content for the morning show, but there's some interesting stuff. I like that. Girls, what do you think?
I think it was a really nice way to introduce this character.
You look for Winter After Dark. Want to be a Halloween special, but, you know, took a bit to get it out here. Better late than never, though.
I think the colors make sense together. All complements itself.
It's the same blue and fuchsia that we always use in the logo, just a different blend of it. Not as dark. But now that we're on daylight savings time, this is only a night look. So we'll have some fun. We'll run this probably in the Asian session. But I'll be honest, I am happy to see that there's more people in the Euro session than the Asian. So maybe we'll just do the midnight later shows. Because Asia, there's like nobody around.
Yeah, 92. We were talking about 40 earlier.
What is that?
92 is a lot. We thought we were going to get around like 40.
I thought you were 40. Yeah, I was like, that's
Yeah.
a fucking body. I'm pretty surprised that this many people are up. Did somebody wish BTC crashed instantly? Why? What's happened? That's a great question. Let's see. BTC drops $100, and that's a crash. That's what you call being too zoomed in. So,
Are you in the 1 minute?
on the 1 minute chart, it's a crash, I guess. All things are relative. We are cultists. This is a cult. Those of you who don't know, This is a fucking cult. If you can't tell your market commentator is a cult leader, you've got fucking problems. So, a crash is a crash is a crash relatively, right? But what you're calling a crash is pretty much not that big, which happens all the damn time. Perspective matters. Don't get too zoomed in. Those are your crashes. Like we said, correcting off this level we showed you, looking for a range, a box range here, and then see how it performs pushing through 14. If I had one wish, what would it be? The deletion of about 90% of all life. You asked. Gamble. Wish that people would read. Even the Infinity Gauntlet couldn't solve that fucking problem. Ladies, anything else you want to throw around before we close out?
Not much to my end. I just really like how this is coming out.
What happened?
I just really like how this is coming out. The visual and everything looks so clear and crisp.
Looks good?
And the color.
The video quality looks good? Let me go back to solar panel. So you guys dig me a mask? Am I cool enough to run the Winternomics family?
Getting bigger.
Is the PS music in the background right now? Of the show?
Say that again?
Word of mouth said the PS music in the background helps, but I don't have the PS running right now, do I? Oh, that's what it did.
Hi.
I wasn't hearing it because I just had Discord on, but now I turned on my computer and there is music in the background.
Oh, yeah, it is on. Forgot. Okay.
Oh, it does.
I had intended to do that, and I guess left it running. Awesome. I forgot all about that damn thing. Cool. You can hear the music on the solar cam. Like on this side, you can hear it.
Let's see.
I really haven't touched it. That's awesome.
Oh, it does. What is that?
Oh yeah, the game capture audio there, right. Yeah, that was part of the plan, actually. It really was. Makes it easier to watch, I think. They have a little background soundtrack.
Yeah, I checked. I can hear it now. Yeah.
So the music only appears when I full screen my cam. Okay. And that's because of... There it goes. That's another thing. What this guy said, USD reload the good ass I told you. Ooh, check that out. That dollar strong, I told you. Did one of you guys almost smash the fucking hero? Yeah, that is funny. Huh. Something's not right here. That's not right at all. Let me see. Okay.
Picture right now?
They come back now?
No, it's there.
Okay. Yeah. There's a rebel. Check that out. Let me blow around to put it on. Yeah, good pushing. All these guys are pushing right now. Dollar's pushing right now. Yeah, Euro's on that level right now. So, maybe that's the night. A lot of you trading currencies are very few. Girls, are you trading currencies much, or are you guys staying off those things?
I'm not trading currencies yet.
Jazz, how about you?
I think she's trying to talk, but I don't know if her.
I just
I
got
think she's having problems.
Oh, God.
Can you guys hear me?
There you are, yeah. Right?
Oh yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
on
I got my
currency?
Awanda. I got my Awanda set up,
I haven't done much on that much on that yet.
but not as heavy. But yeah, definitely preparing. Like the more we hear about it on stream and stuff, it's like it makes sense that you don't just get stuck on stocks.
You guys notice that we watch currencies in tandem with stocks and commodities, you know, and it gives you a more rounded picture of just all the asset classes to look at that. Because ultimately, if you're in the UK, you're in America, you're buying into the stock market to view the country. They're buying it in terms of the currency of your currency. So you can't take the currency out of the equation of the markets at all. They tell you a lot about the nature of risk-seeking behavior. You know, whenever you repatriate back to the currency, that you could be termed deflationary when the currency becomes the strength. And that's true. Once you see strong currencies, you don't see strong risks at the same time. So understanding currency strength is really key to also understanding risk-seeking behavior. That's a simple version.
It's important, for sure.
It's an hour-long show. I think we're going to wrap up here, guys, and catch you in the morning. This is just the Halloween special we wanted to get on and have a little powwow with everybody. You'll see me again in winter after dark. But we'll hand over to the rest of the Nomics plan for the morning show. Appreciate the bits, Mama. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
What?
Got to meet the bad bitches, Jezebel, Vicky Vale. Appreciate you coming out for the stream.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.